Welcome back to the channel, Coin Enthusiasts. Today we are diving deep into a treasure that is hiding in plain sight, the Washington quarter dollar. Now you might think it is just pocket change, but what if I told you that some of these quarters are worth thousands, even millions of dollars in today's collector market? Yes, you heard that right. So grab your coin jar, because by the end of this video, you will know which Washington quarters to look out for and why they are in such high demand. Whether you are a new collector or a seasoned numismatist, this video is your ultimate guide to spotting valuable Washington quarters in circulation today. First up, we are diving into a truly fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1978 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark. This is not just any quarter you might find in your change jar. This is a coin that is catching serious attention in the collector's market right now. Whether you are a longtime collector or just starting your numismatic journey, this video will open your eyes to the beauty, value, and rarity of a coin that many people might overlook. So stay with me until the end as we explore the story, value, and collecting secrets behind the 1978 Washington quarter, a coin that may just be hiding in plain sight. Let us begin with a bit of history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, this coin features a striking portrait of Washington on the obverse, facing left, a design that would remain largely unchanged for decades. By 1978, the quarter had already become a staple in American currency, serving both in circulation and as a growing interest for collectors. The 1978 issue is part of the clad era, made of a copper-nickel composition instead of silver, which had been phased out from quarters in 1965. Despite its base metal composition, the 1978 quarter holds special significance because of its unique minting characteristics and rising demand in the collector world. Now, let us take a closer look at what makes the 1978 Washington quarter without a mint mark truly unique. The absence of a mint mark on this coin tells us that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the original and oldest of the United States. Mint facilities. While Philadelphia coins typically do not carry a mint mark from that era, the 1978 quarter stands out due to its refined strike and strong detailing, especially in higher-grade conditions such as very fine and above. The obverse showcases George Washington's iconic profile, while the reverse features the majestic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, surrounded by olive branches symbolizing strength and peace. This classical design resonates with collectors who appreciate American symbolism and craftsmanship. Coins from 1978 are also notable for having tight die tolerances, meaning some strikes were exceptionally sharp, making well-preserved examples even more desirable. Now here is where things really get exciting. While millions of quarters were minted in 1978, not all of them have survived the decades in good condition. A 1978 quarter without a mint mark in very fine condition is considered quite collectible today. But when you go one step higher to extra fine or almost uncirculated, the rarity increases dramatically. Why? Because these coins were everyday pocket change, used and worn down over time. Finding one that has retained much of its original detail, luster, and clarity without being polished or damaged is a real challenge. As collectors focus more on high-grade examples, demand for well-preserved 1978 quarters has surged. What adds to the appeal is the combination of age, design, and the fact that most people do not realize just how rare a clean, original specimen really is in today's market. These are not just coins, they are survivors of American monetary history. Let us talk dollars, because this is where things really heat up. A 1978 Washington quarter with no mint mark in average circulated condition may turn many heads, but in very fine or better condition, collectors are paying strong premiums. Currently, a verified very fine example can fetch anywhere from $320,000, depending on the clarity and strike. And for certified graded specimens in mint state condition, especially from grading services, the value can climb even higher depending on the market trend. With growing interest in vintage United States coins, these 1,978 quarters are becoming hot collectibles for both new and seasoned investors. If you are a collector or thinking of becoming one, there are a few key things you should keep in mind about this quarter. First, always check for condition. Look closely at Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the fields around the lettering. These areas will show the most wear. Coins that retain strong detail in these regions are highly desirable. Second, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaned coins lose their collector value even if they appear shinier. Natural aging and patina are part of the coin's charm and proof of its authenticity. Third, consider getting your coin graded if it looks particularly sharp. Having your coin authenticated and certified by a reputable grading service can significantly boost its value on the market. Lastly, keep an eye out at estate sales, coin shops, and even pocket change. You never know when a hidden gem like this might turn up. Many people have found valuable coins simply by being more observant. With coins like the 1978 quarter increasing in value, now is the perfect time to add one to your collection. In conclusion, the 1978 Washington quarter without a mint mark is more than just a piece of pocket change. It is a rising star in the world of numismatics. With its rich history, timeless design, and increasing market demand, this coin is proving to be a smart and rewarding investment for collectors around the globe. Whether you are holding onto one already or are now inspired to hunt for it, there is no denying the value and beauty that this quarter brings to the table. So take a closer look at your collection, check your change jar, and join the exciting hunt for this high-demand American classic. Next up, we are diving deep into the iconic Washington quarter dollar from 1966, a beautiful piece of American numismatic history that comes without a mint mark and is now becoming a hot topic in today's collector market. This coin, even in fine condition, is catching the attention of savvy collectors due to its history, scarcity, and the rising demand for mid-20th century coinage. So sit back, subscribe if you have not already, and let us explore why this seemingly ordinary coin is turning into a valuable asset in the world of coin collecting. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this quarter has become a staple of American currency. Now fast forward to 1966. This was a turning point in the United States. Coinage history. The nation was in the midst of a coin shortage, and the United States. Mint had just transitioned away from 90% silver coins to clad coinage made from copper and nickel. The 1966 quarter was produced during a turbulent period when the mint decided not to include mint marks on any coins, a policy that was put in place from 1965 to 1967. This decision makes the 1966 quarter incredibly distinct, as it is one of only a few years where no mint marks can be found, regardless of where the coin was struck. One of the most fascinating features of the 1966 Washington quarter is its lack of a mint mark. Unlike most coins that bear a letter indicating where they were produced, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco, this quarter bucks the trend completely. It is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition and has a reeded edge, with George Washington's profile on the obverse and the classic eagle design on the reverse. Even though millions were minted, many were heavily circulated or lost over time, and finding one in fine condition or better is becoming less common. What really sets it apart for collectors is the unique historical period it represents, a snapshot of a transitional moment in the United States. Mint policy and American monetary history. Now you might be thinking, wait, if millions were made, why is it rare? That is a fantastic question, and the answer lies in condition and context. While many of these coins passed through the hands of millions of Americans, few survived in collector-worthy condition. Coins in fine condition, such as the one we are focusing on today, show modest wear but retain clear detail. In the numismatic world, that is a big deal. Collectors are constantly looking for coins from this transitional period, especially those preserved well enough to display the artistry and design. On top of that, the lack of a mint mark adds a layer of intrigue and desirability. Coin experts know this period is finite. Only a few years had this no mint mark trait, making the 1966 issue one of the most attractive targets for those building a complete Washington quarter set. Let us talk numbers, because this is where things get even more exciting. As of today's collector market, A 1966 Washington quarter without mint mark in fine condition can fetch anywhere from $510,000, depending on the overall eye appeal and clarity of detail. However, that is just the baseline. The market for mid-century United States. Coins is heating up fast, and this quarter is right in the spotlight. If you are a coin collector or someone looking to start your numismatic journey, here are some key strategies to keep in mind. First, always examine your change. You would be surprised how often hidden gems turn up in everyday circulation. Next, invest in a good magnifying glass or loupe, as finer details can greatly influence the value of your coin. Try to store your coins properly in acid-free holders or coin flips to preserve their condition. And most importantly, if you think your 1966 quarter is in unusually good shape, consider getting it graded professionally. A small investment in grading can exponentially increase your coin's market value. Joining local or online coin collector communities can also be a goldmine for information, trade opportunities, and insights on pricing trends. So there you have it. The 1966 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark is far more than just pocket change. It is a historic piece, a collectible item, and increasingly a desirable investment in the modern coin market. Whether you already own one or you are on the hunt for it, this coin stands as a reminder that everyday currency can turn into a treasure over time. Its unique place in the United States, minting history, the rising collector demand, and its surprising market value make it a fantastic addition to any serious collection. Next up, we dive deep into one of the most underrated treasures in American coinage, the 1979 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, especially in extra fine condition. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter from your loose change drawer, but today we are uncovering why this particular coin is quickly gaining attention in the collector's world and how its value in today's market could truly surprise you. Let us begin with a little history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and went on to become one of the most iconic American coins in circulation. Fast forward to 1979, this was a year of economic transition, inflation, and increased minting activity, making it a fascinating period for coin collectors. The Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, but only a limited number survived the test of time in pristine, extra-fine condition. And that is where the rarity starts to shine. What makes the 1979 with D Washington quarter so unique isn't just its age, it's the little details that set it apart. This quarter features the classic John Flanagan portrait of George Washington on the obverse, detailed with sharp, clean lines when preserved in high condition. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle still looks fierce and symbolic. But here is the twist. Quarters with the letter D mint mark from 1979 that are in extra fine or higher condition have very strong detailing, minimal wear, and a brilliant luster that makes them stand out in any collection. The D signifies it was minted in Denver, and some of the finest examples display strong strikes and crisp rim lettering, increasing both their appeal and their market value. Now, let's talk rarity, not in terms of total mintage, but in terms of survival rate and condition. While tens of millions were struck, coins in extra fine condition or better are relatively rare because they were used heavily in circulation. It is incredibly rare to find one without nicks, scratches, or heavy wear. Collectors are on the hunt for these high-quality examples, and demand is growing. Especially for coin enthusiasts who aim to build complete sets from each mint, the 1979 with D quarter in superior condition becomes a critical and valuable piece. This brings us to the exciting part, current market value. When you bring extra fine or almost uncirculated condition into the equation, the story changes. Extra fine examples of this coin are now commanding anywhere from $500,000 on collector marketplaces. The demand continues to rise as collectors look to invest in accessible historical pieces with potential for appreciation. So, what can you do if you have one or are hoping to find one? Here are a few expert tips for collectors. First, always inspect the coin for details. The more defined Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are, the better. Look closely at the rim, luster, and any signs of scratches or dings. If the coin appears pristine, consider getting it graded. A professional grade not only confirms the condition, but adds instant credibility and resale value. And most importantly, keep an eye on the market. As numismatic interest in late 20th century coins grows, values are shifting fast, especially for coins in high condition with strong historical relevance, like the 1979 with D quarter. In conclusion, the 1979 with D Washington quarter in extra fine condition is no ordinary coin. It is a shining example of how history, condition, and collector enthusiasm can turn a piece of change into a prized possession. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin represents a tangible connection to America's past and a smart potential investment for the future. So go ahead, check your coin jars, revisit your collection, or explore online auctions. You never know, you might just be holding a small silver-colored fortune in your hands. Next up, we're diving into one of the most sought-after gems in the world of American coinage, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar, with the D mint mark in uncirculated condition. This is not just any old pocket change. This quarter is becoming a superstar in today's collectible coin market. Its value is climbing, demand is growing, and collectors across the globe are on the hunt for this beauty. So, if you have got one of these in your collection, or if you're thinking about adding one, stay tuned. We are covering everything from its historical significance to why its value is soaring today. Let us take a step back in time to understand the historical importance of this coin. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, and since then, it has become a staple of American coinage. The version we are talking about today, the 1980 with D, was minted in Denver and is part of the later copper nickel-clad era that replaced the earlier 90% silver quarters. By 1980, the Washington quarter had seen decades of circulation, but coins from this period hold a special place in collectors' hearts because they represent a transition in minting precision and production volumes. While over 518 million were struck at the Denver Mint, finding them in true uncirculated condition today is becoming a rare challenge, and that is exactly where the value lies. The 1980 with D Washington quarter might look like your average coin at first glance, but upon closer inspection, collectors recognize its brilliance. On the obverse, you have the enduring image of George Washington facing left, designed by John Flanagan, a portrait that has stood the test of time. The reverse features the majestic heraldic eagle, with outstretched wings clutching arrows, a symbol of strength and preparedness. But what makes the 1980 with D unique is the mint mark D located just to the right of Washington's ponytail, signifying it was minted in Denver. In uncirculated condition, this coin has razor-sharp details, gleaming luster, and crisp edges, all characteristics that elevate it from common to collectible. Although this coin had a high mintage, it is the condition that makes all the difference. In the world of coin collecting, uncirculated does not just mean not used, it means untouched by the wear of circulation, preserving all the fine details. The 1980 with D quarter in mint state, especially those graded mint state 65 and above, is incredibly desirable. Coins that were preserved straight from mint rolls or collector sets now command high premiums. The demand is driven by collectors seeking pristine examples to complete their Washington quarter series or investment-grade coins for long-term holding. As the years go by, truly untouched examples are becoming scarcer, driving their demand even higher in today's market. Now let's talk about the big question. How much is this coin worth today? Uncirculated 1980 with D quarters, especially those graded by top agencies, can fetch anywhere from $350,000, depending on the grade and eye appeal. In today's active market, demand from both serious collectors and investment-minded buyers has kept values strong and rising. If you are looking to add this coin to your collection or already have one, you will want to keep a few things in mind. First, condition is king. Look for coins with no wear, strong strike, and brilliant luster. If your coin looks uncirculated, consider having it professionally graded to establish its market value and authenticity. Store your coins properly in protective flips or slabs and avoid touching them with bare hands to preserve their pristine state. Keep an eye on auction sites and reputable dealers. Watch how values fluctuate over time. As the supply of high-grade examples continues to shrink, those who own quality specimens are sitting on valuable pieces of numismatic history. So there you have it, an in-depth look at the 1980 with D. Washington quarter dollar in uncirculated condition. This coin is far more than just spare change. It is a rising star in the collectibles world with significant value and historical charm. Its increasing scarcity, stunning design, and collector demand make it a highly desirable addition to any serious coin collection. If you are lucky enough to own one in mint state, you could be holding a true treasure. Next up, we are diving deep into a coin that has been turning heads in the numismatic community. Yes, it is the 1984 Washington quarter dollar with the D mint mark in uncirculated condition. This isn't just pocket change. It's a powerful piece of history that's climbing the charts in collector demand and value. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just getting started, this is a coin you absolutely want to know about. So grab your magnifying glass and let us discover the treasure that lies in this everyday-looking quarter. Let us rewind to 1984. America was in the midst of cultural and economic evolution. Ronald Reagan was in the White House, the Olympic Games lit up Los Angeles, and personal computing was just beginning to shape the modern world. Amid all that change, the Denver Mint struck millions of Washington quarters, each bearing the iconic profile of George Washington, an image originally sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932 to commemorate Washington's 200th birthday. The 1984 with D. Washington quarter continues this proud tradition, but few realized at the time that some of these coins, especially in pristine condition, would become prized gems in the collecting world decades later. What makes the 1984 with D. Washington quarter stand out? For starters, the letter D mint mark, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail, signifies it was struck at the Denver Mint. In uncirculated condition, this coin shines literally with its brilliant luster, sharp relief, and clear, unblemished surfaces. Collectors love how the coin's crisp strike preserves even the tiniest details, like the fine texture in Washington's hair and the sharp feather details on the eagle on the reverse. It is this level of quality, preserved over 40 years, that transforms this quarter from everyday currency to numismatic royalty. Now, while millions of these were minted, finding one in uncirculated condition today is a whole different story. These quarters were used heavily in circulation, meaning that most of them are worn down or damaged. But an uncirculated 1984 with D quarter, especially one graded MS-65 or higher, is a needle in a haystack. The rarity lies in the condition, and that is what makes it so sought after by serious collectors. Coin dealers and grading companies report increasing demand for pristine examples of 1980s-era quarters, and this coin is leading the charge. With interest in modern classic coins growing, the 1984 with D is no longer just another quarter, it is a hot ticket item in the collectible market. So what is it worth? This is the part everyone has been waiting for, an uncirculated one. That is where things get exciting. In today's collector's market, a 1984 with D. Washington quarter in uncirculated condition can fetch anywhere between $435,000, depending on its grade. If you are on the hunt for one of these gems, here is what you should look for. First, always prioritize condition, sharp detail, clean fields, and strong luster are key indicators. Try sourcing coins from reputable dealers, coin shows, or even unsearched bankrolls if you are lucky. And if you think you have found a good one, consider getting it professionally graded. It not only increases its value, but also adds credibility when you decide to sell or trade. Always store your coins in a dry, temperature-stable environment and use protective holders to keep them safe from scratches and oxidation. Trust me, every little bit of care preserves both the coin and its long-term value. So there you have it. The 1984 with D. Washington quarter dollar is not just a piece of American currency, but a rising star in the coin collecting world. With its rich historical context, distinctive mint mark, limited availability in top condition, and strong market value, it is easy to see why collectors are racing to add this coin to their collection. If you are lucky enough to own one in uncirculated condition, you might just be holding on to a small treasure with big potential. Keep collecting, keep learning, and who knows, your next quarter might be worth a whole lot more than you think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss more videos on hidden gems in your coin collection. Until next time, happy collecting.